Here, SAPS members and employed and unemployed members of the emergency services sector have marched on the union buildings in Pretoria. They're handing over a memorandum of demands related to the conditions of employment. They're also seeking an assurance that corruption and maladministration will come to an end. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is following the march and she joins us now live. Heidi, what are the workers telling you in terms of their demands?
Yes, Masako, so what we do understand is that a memorandum will be handed over to officials here at the union buildings. Of course, workers that have marched here to the union buildings are currently reading out the memorandum, but basically their demands include the fact that they want a Minister of Emergency Services. They believe that there's just too much confusion with the various departments within emergency services, SAPS, reservists, paramedics, and so on. They feel as though there should be one ministry that they fall under, as it causes too much confusion when there are a number of ministers that they have to report to. They are also calling for the issue of corruption and maladministration to be dealt with, because they feel as though this is not an issue that has been dealt with head on. And of course this was definitely exacerbated and highlighted during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we saw all this corruption emerging, especially with PPE. So what we do know is that this memorandum will be handed over, and they are hoping for this to be dealt with as quickly as possible. What we also know is that they are asking for reservists to be made permanent. They don't want them to just be used whenever they are needed. Just hearing part of the memorandum that was read out, they feel as though there are certain reservists that have been working for over 20 years and have not received a stable income. So these are just some of the issues that they want dealt with. I'm going to ask my colleague Jewel Matlala to just try and see if he can pan to just show you that the memorandum is now being read out. We've just had to step away from there, but we'll definitely see if we can get a response from the presidency. We're not sure who's going to be receiving this memorandum, and of course try and speak to the organisers of this march. Of course, a very peaceful march, not many people. They were expecting about 200 people today. We're not really seeing those numbers, but of course they're just trying to get the message across to the presidency. This is why they've decided to come to the union buildings.
In terms of who they are sending their memorandum to, it's the presidency, I understand?
Yes, Masako, I couldn't hear the full part of your question, okay. But we do know that they will be handing over the memorandum to the presidency. This is why they've decided to come to the union buildings. I'm not sure exactly what you asked, but I do think it's important to highlight the fact that they've opted to come here, and part of the reason why they've opted to come here is also to get the attention that they would rather have a Minister of Emergency Services. So they couldn't necessarily go to perhaps the Department of the National Department of Health or any other department, because the emergency services fall under different categories, and this is the message they're trying to get across, to say if we come to the presidency, they'll understand the fact that they want a Minister of Emergency Services established.